What is up YouTube, James Beck here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2019 Baek Battles. Today we're using the Necrozma Dawn Wings team once again with Necrozma Dawn Wings, Instant Aura, Ground on Stack Attack, Tapu Koko, and Ludicolo. Now, man, it's been a pain to try and get to record this video. So basically, I think what happened is like my school somehow is like preventing me from going online with my Nintendo 3DS because I looked up the error code and it's like it's most likely some way of them preventing me from playing like Battle Spot connecting online. So it's like, really? And then when I started using my hotspot, it works obviously, but then I couldn't find games, and I'm pretty sure like because my opponents have been disconnecting, I had to reset my rating. So that was also really frustrating. That took away a bunch of time. I don't really have much time as well, so yeah. So if we end up missing a few videos, it's not gonna be my fault basically, because I schedule these now. Like I had to schedule like a time I specifically have to record, and I have to get like a certain number because of all this frustrating things. It's like it's gonna probably be a few days where we'll have probably no videos. I'll try to get them up as consistently as I can, but of course I do have finals, of course, and yeah, I don't exactly have that much time to record, so it kind of sucks, but I am still gonna be trying to get out all the viable legendaries that I do think are viable for the season on teams. I don't know, because once I get back home after for winter break, I can start recording guaranteed. I'll have more free time. I can actually, build these teams really quickly. So yeah, we got a Palkia Typhlosion for the first one. Palkia Typhlosion, Groudon, Amoonguss, Incineroar, Sekataka. Is it really bad that I just don't have a Typhlosion switching actually? Because yeah, that's actually a pretty big threat. I think I'll go Necrozma and Incineroar. It's a very safe lead overall. I think I have the Tapu Koko in the back and have Groudon in the back. Ludicolo doesn't seem that great to me, and Stakataka could do work, but the Groudon and the Palkia, if it carries Earth Power, are definitely some big issues. So we'll see how this goes. I'm not exactly in the best mood today, but we'll try to make it work. So yeah, the game plan obviously is prevent the Typhlosion from doing too much damage. If I can just prevent Typhlosion from doing too much damage, I'm pretty sure I can handle the rest of my opponent's team with ease. Luckily my opponent doesn't lead it too. Gonna lead off with that Palkia and the Incineroar. So I definitely want to switch out into my Tapu Koko here because of the fact that my Tapu Koko will activate my Necrozma's Electric Seed. So yeah. And I guess I just go for damage in the Palkia with a Moongeist Beam. I feel like the damage is pretty nice in the Palkia immediately. I don't feel like Trick Room's necessary. Looks like I might have the faster Incineroar, so that could be nice. I could go for Fake Out into my opponent's Incineroar, but I don't think that's worth risking. We'll just go for the Moongeist Beam here, and we'll go straight into the Tapu Koko. This covers Fake Out into the Incineroar and Hydro Pump. I mean, an Earth Power would suck in the Tapu Koko, but it probably wouldn't knock out unless it specs. So I should be okay with that. We'll activate the Electric Seed, so this Incineroar really isn't going to be doing too much damage right off the bat. And I could always Volt Switch back into my Incineroar. So let's see what my opponent decides to do here. As we will activate our Electric Seed, how much damage are we going to do to this Palkia? I'm curious. It is going to be a Fake Out though. Okay. Into the Incineroar slot, and a Hydro Pump just going to come straight out into the Palkia, doing a really good amount of damage. I feel like that might actually be max special attack, I want to say. Timid maybe? We'll find out. Here comes a Moongeist Beam. Although it is a Hydro Pump from Palkia, it does do good damage. Wow, we do a lot of damage. That's a critical hit. Really nice damage overall. Okay. What does my opponent have to switch in? Amoonguss, Sekataka. I'd rather not Moongeist Beam again in case the Palkia does reveal Protect here. So I think I'm just gonna Volt Switch and Side Shock the Palkia. Even Palkia protects and Incineroar attacks here, that's fine because I don't really need this Pokemon. And I get a free switch in the ground and start clicking Precipice Blade, so I'd be in a pretty good position actually. So we'll see what my opponent decides to do. It's going to be... Oh, that's meant to be Incineroar. My Necrozma outsped it. It's going to be a knockoff into the Necrozma, but like with my Electric Seed boost, yeah, you're not really doing too much damage to me. And now I can go for I think I'll just go for a Moongeist Beam again into the Palkia and Volt Switch once again into the Palkia because I don't really see a drawback to the play. Maybe Groudon comes in, but it takes some damage. And I could Volt Switch the Incineroar the following turn. I could also Moonlight, so I'd heal back some HP, so I feel pretty good. We're going to see the Palkia retreat. Going to be, yep, it is the Groudon. So good play from my opponent. My opponent is playing well right here. But I still think I can just easily Moonlight the following turn and Volt Switch in an instant. So I will get some chip into the Groudon, which is pretty nice for my Precipice Blades. So how much is it going to do? I'd say a little bit less than the half. It really depends on the Groudon spread. Ooh, that's a 2-hit KO, which is good. Here's a Flare Blitz actually. Is this going on into the Tapu Koko? No, it's in a Lunala. That did just as much as about to knock off, I want to say. We will Moonlight here, I think, and we will just Volt Switch the Instant out into my Incineroar, and yeah, we'll have some pretty good momentum right here because we'll heal back to almost near full, I want to say, as Groudon actually protects, so that's amazing for me. I can actually get in my own Groudon. I don't even have to switch an instant now, I think, because yeah, I mean, that might be Assault Vest Incineroar. That probably is Assault Vest Incineroar based on that damage. We will go the Groudon, and it does look like adamant damage from the Incineroar now that I think about it, so yeah, it's probably Assault Vest. We'll go with my Groudon here because we do want to go for the Precipice Blades because a double Precipice Blade should allow me to get a knockout onto these Pokemon from my opponent's side. So yeah, we'll see what my opponent decides to do. It's going to be a knockoff into the Necrozma again. Yeah. Which is fine. I'm just going to go for Moonlight again because I don't see a reason not to just Moonlight. My opponent doesn't have a switch into Precipice Blades either. So yeah, I mean, we'll just click Precipice Blades away. I don't see a reason not to. I could go for like a Moongeist Beam and the Stomping Tantrum, but I don't think that's worth it. I do reveal the faster Groudon. I do miss the Incineroar, which is a little bit unfortunate because Incineroar is now going to be able to get a powerful Flare Blitz off into one of my mons. But we do knock out a Groudon, which is really nice for my Incineroar in the back. So we will heal some HP. And we'll see what my opponent decides to do. It's going to be the knockoff coming out into the Necrozma once again. So my Groudon actually stays healthy, which is pretty nice. The terrain disappears, which only probably matters if there's the Amoonguss in the back, and I can always reset it anyway. So let's see what my opponent's going to bring out the next. Oh, no. That's a threat. Oh, that's a threat. That's a big threat. We'll go for the Moongeist Beam. Oh, that's a big threat. I think we go Instant here. I think we have to go Instant. The reason I think we have to go Instant is because we need 2 Pokemon alive, and I think we do need Tapu Koko as a sack in case. So we'll get intimidated off into the Incineroar. I don't think we're living an eruption from the Typhlosion. Solar Beam. Why wouldn't you just click eruption if you had it? Okay. Oh, that's Specs, isn't it? Oh, that's just a crit. Okay. That still might be Specs though. That just did a lot of damage. If it is Specs, just click eruption. I had no switching. Well, at least if it is Specs, we do get a bunch of damage into the Typhlosion. Oh, that did so much. Here comes the knockoff once again into the Necrozma. Oh, gets a crit. Okay. Pretty sure we go Groudon actually here. Yeah, we go Groudon here, and we just fake out in Precipice Blades. The main reason we go for this play is because we actually want the sun to disappear, so I'm taking less damage from this eruption, so Groudon should be able to live in eruption. And if this is Scarf Typhlosion, like I think it might be, or if it's Specs even, it's either going to faint here or be forced to switch out, and both of those are great factors for me. Also, the fact that Incineroar will also go down here to the Precipice Blades or Palkia if my opponent decides to switch that slot out. So fake out the Typhlosion as my opponent actually goes for fake out, but Precipice Blades will be able to knock out both of these starters, and goodbye, and that should be the game, I want to say. I think Tapu Koko just seals it up here. So yeah, I feel like this game could have actually been really scary. My opponent went for the eruption. I don't know if my opponent doesn't have eruption or maybe fought eruption when in KO Groudon, but Sun Boost eruption would be really strong, so don't see reason not to just go for the eruption right there. As the Palkia will come back in, it's really low. And we just click Blades and U-turn and or knockoff. Actually, knockoff is probably better here, as the match is going to be forfeit. So we do take a win here. Typhlosion was actually a really scary Pokemon. It could have been if it went for Eruption. Again, I just don't know why my opponent didn't click Eruption. Maybe didn't have it. Maybe the best move had was Heat Wave, and if it is the best move to have is Heat Wave, then that would make sense. But I feel like if we're using Typhlosion in VGC, like Eruption is probably like one of the sets you really want to run because of its really high base power. Typhlosion actually sounds really fun now that I think about it. Typhlosion does sound really fun. Okay, so we do take a win there. Not much to really say. I mean, I just tried to get the chip damage that I needed onto the Palkia because it helped to put. I was basically just trying to put everything my opponent had in range of Precipice Blades. I was able to eliminate, well, get like 75% onto the Palkia. I was able to get the heavy 50% off in the Groudon, which was great because my Groudon's Precipice Blades was going to sweep. I feel like I wouldn't have had much trouble if I just hit the Precipice Blades and Incineroar against Typhlosion, because then my opponent didn't have like sack switching later on and would have been forced to bring Typhlosion and Palkia back out, and like that would have been a lot easier to handle in my opinion, because I could actually just sack like my Tapu Koko and my Necrozma Dawn Wings there, just get in my Incineroar next to Groudon and just click Fake Out Precipice Blades. I think that would have been a lot better for me, as we got an opponent from Italy, 1596 rating. Bring more of the standard team, except Ferrothorn over Moongus, which is interesting. Groudon, Ferrothorn, Kartana, Incineroar, Xerneas, and the Tornadus. So feeling pretty good here about my position. Stakataka. I feel like Stakataka should be good, but like I don't want to bring it just because of the double grass, and I could definitely see. I wouldn't see Ferrothorn. I would see Cortana more. I think we're gonna go Coco Necrozma. I'd prefer Coco or Coco Ground. It's like one of those two I'm thinking right here. I think I led Coco Necrozma last time. Don't question me on this with Groudon instant in the back. I don't really remember too much about how, because it's been a few days since I used the team, so we'll see how this goes. I'm pretty sure I go Coco Necrozma, and I'm pretty sure I always Volt Switch out. I don't remember if they let Tornadus, plus I could definitely see Rain Dance Tornadus on this team for sure. So I don't want to lead Groudon. I think we're gonna see the Incineroar or Tornadus, which is fine. I think, yeah, that's fine. We go Tapu Koko Necrozma here. We can just Volt Switch into the Incineroar and get out my. I don't know what you're gonna do. Probably Fake Out Taunt. I think Fake Out Taunt would be pretty understandable, or maybe go for like a. Would you just go for damage? I could see that too. I mean, Tornadus isn't really threatening much right here, so I think I'm just gonna Volt Switch the Incineroar, and I might as well just get some chip onto that Tornadus because it's the only ground immunity my opponent has on the team. So yeah, we're just gonna see the taunt come out and probably either Flare Blitz or knockoff. So I'm okay with this turn because I get damage in Tornadus and I get like pretty good momentum with my Incineroar. Probably just, I don't think this is Soul Vest Incineroar. I'm always messing up this calc, but I'm pretty sure that's just standard bulky. We'll bring out my own Incineroar, intimidate my opponent's Incineroar, as well as the Fake Out pressure for the Tornadus or the Incineroar the following turn. Of course, the issue is I can't exactly Moonlight, which is a bit unfortunate, as we do see a knockoff come out. It is going to target down my Dawn Wings, but not really doing too much damage, thankfully, and we'll get a Moongeist Beam off. So nice. We also confirmed the Incineroar is faster than my Necrozma, which is good to know. Good damage, like really good damage. We'll go for the U-turn, I think, into the Incineroar. And just go hard for the Moongeist Beam because I want momentum. I want to get maybe back my Tapu Koko back in so I can start Volt Switching. I don't want to give Incineroar free switching if my opponent does it, but it's actually just Tornadus that switches out into the Kyogre. Very nice play on my opponent's end. Okay. But I'm okay with that. I just actually no, I just go Groudon afterward, don't I? Unless my opponent U-turns. And if I'm the faster Incineroar, I U-turn first, so that's not good. Okay, that's good. That's good. Especially if I knock out the Tornadus. That's amazing for me, actually. So if I can knock out the Tornadus, that's amazing for me. Let's see. Because it might be that Tornadus, because if it is a Tornadus, I get a U-turn that should knock out the Tornadus at that range, and I get a big Moongeist Beam off into the Kyogre, so that really works out for me, I think. We do knock out the Tornadus, which is really solid for me here, and now I get a Moongeist Beam into the Kyogre, and that just weakens its Water Spout range, and I'm definitely going Groudon here, I think. No reason not to, just brings out the sun. My opponent can't set up Rain Dance, which is really good. And yeah, I'm looking like in a solid spot, especially once Taunt wears off. I can easily get Trick back up, and I also have an Incineroar as a switch in right this turn, so I'm feeling very solid about my spot here, as we will go for the Moongeist Beam. I guess the problem is Xerneas. I gotta think about the Xerneas endgame now, as we do a solid chunk to the Kyogre, like very solid damage. Incineroar should be coming out. Oh, it's Kartana. My opponent didn't even bring the, okay. Interesting. My opponent didn't even out to bring the, Xerneas. Okay. I'm gonna go Incineroar here. And I guess just Moongeist being the Kartana. I'm not really that worried about Kyogre right here. I'd rather get damage into Kartana, break its potential Sash, or if it's a Assault Vest, I just want Chip to put in range and maybe top of Coco. We'll bring out Incineroar here. Sacred Sword, Origin Pulse could be a play. I'm not sure if that's going to knock out in Sun, though. And I definitely want to prevent this Kartana from doing too much damage to my Necrozma. It is confirmed to be Scarf Ogre, so Origin Pulse will fire out. That shouldn't do too much. Sacred Sword's going to be close, and my opponent did go for it. But it's actually just a Leaf Blade into the Incineroar, so pretty good turn for me overall right there. As we will get a Moongeist Beam off. It will target on the Kartana. And now I could probably just Moonlight, which is really nice here. Yeah, some really good damage. Necrozma wears off. And I think you have to switch out Kyogre here. I could fake out Moongeist being the Kartana, which might be worth. Or I can Moonlight. I'm trying to think. Do I need Trick Room to win this game? Probably not if I just get rid of the Kartana. So I think I'll just double up the Kartana, because if Kyogre is staying into Origin Pulse, it's just not doing too much damage. And yeah, we are going to see that Kyogre retreat here. Going to beat Incineroar, no surprise there. So I'm pretty okay with how this turn plays out. Yeah, pretty happy about how this turn plays out. Let's see what my opponent does. Yeah, I'm just going to be able to knock out the Kartana. Great. So what this allows me to do next turn is Kyogre is going to come back in. I just sack both of these Pokemon here because I really don't need either of these Pokemon alive to win the game. Then I'm just able to bring out Tapu Koko next to Groudon, have the Sun set up, and then I should just be able to click Volt Switch into Stomping Tantrum. Volt Switch might not knock out the Kyogre, but as long as Incineroar doesn't care to protect, I should be good. And most Incineroars don't care to protect, so we will see the Kyogre come back out. And yeah, I could also just do I use it? No, I just knock off the Kyogre always. I just knock off in Moongeist Beam. Origin Pulse should, even if Origin Pulse doesn't knock out my Necrozma, I mean the knockoff should, so we should be okay. Even if like Ogre misses, like I'm in a fine spot. Ice Beam, okay. Besides to lock in the Ice Beam, I actually expected my Groudon to come in, but I don't know. I guess maybe you had to lock in the move and maybe Ice Beam was your best call, but like, I'm definitely okay with that in my opinion, because now you 100% lose the game. Because you didn't even knock out my Necrozma in the first place. Because knockoff's not KOing with the Electric Seed boost, yeah. And then I just get the knock on Kyogre here. Okay. Not how I expected this to turn out, but I guess maybe my opponent was... You couldn't even go for the freeze game if I bring in Groudon, so I don't know what you were really aiming for. As we do knock out the Kyogre here, and that's going to be a good game. Nice. And Ice Beam doesn't even knock out Groudon from full, so yeah, I was in a pretty good spot regardless. And we'll go for the U-turn, we'll go for the Moongeist Beam. At this point, like, my opponent doesn't have an out here. because I have Stomping Tantrum. You can't even go for Precipice Blades. Miss system matches, it's going to be forfeit. So sweet. So we do pick up a win there. I think that, I feel like positioning wise, the big turn was just getting the knock on Tornaz as well as the huge damage in Kyogre, because that gave me so much momentum. I could have went straight for the fake out, but I knew I didn't have to, and by that way I was just able to get, you know, the knock on Tornaz. My opponent's only ground resist. I was able to get ground on when Kyogre came out, so I was able to get the sun up, and my opponent wasn't just able to threaten me as much. So really happy about how that game played out, as Necrozma putting in some work as well as Groudon. So yep. And again, I feel like maybe I do replace Ludicolo at this point, because like I'm not bringing in the matchups. Oh, this is interesting. Weavile, Incineroar, the Tapu Fini, Zygarde, Toxicroak, and Solgaleo. This is actually a really weird matchup. Necrozma Dawn Wings can put in some work, but like Zygarde is like one of the weird matchups, because like it's so strong against my teams. I feel like it's definitely really strong against my team. Is this a game where I bring Ludicolo? Grassnot might be helpful to weaken down the Zygarde, but the fake, it's not really good against any of the other mons against my opponent's team. I think I go Incineroar. I think I go Incineroar and Necrozma lead, actually. Or Incineroar Groudon. I could just spam Bandit Blades. And I have like a Bandit Thunder Punch that could threaten the Fini. Yeah, I like that actually. I was thinking of Necrozma because maybe I could bait the Weavile for going for knockout, but that's actually a dumb play. If you just fake out my Incineroar and set up with Zygarde, then I'm in a really bad spot. So that's the main reason I don't want to lead that. So I'd rather get Groudon in, and I have the pressure to Precipice Blades and U-turn if my opponent decides to lead the Weavile after all. So we'll see how this goes. Incineroar and Groudon. I think it's Weavile and Zygarde as the lead. Weavile and Incineroar, okay. Really interesting lead here. I do get Intimidate off against my opponent's side, which is really nice. I don't know what my opponent's really going for though. But I mean, Fake on the Flare Blitz won't knock out my Tapu Koko. I don't even think, I'm not sure if Icicle Crash would, but I could see knockoff, and I don't want my Necrozma taking too much damage right off the bat. I think I'm just gonna U-turn the Weavile for pressure, because I want momentum. I need my Incineroar to switch in later, so I think I'm just gonna U-turn and go out into Tapu Koko. The main reason is, oh, we actually see Weavile retreat, which is nice, into the Zygarde. Okay, so I wonder if Fini's coming out here, or a U-turn coming out from the Incineroar. Could be a fake out too. I could definitely see fake out as well. I could also Nature's Madness, Choice Band, and Precipice Blades the Zygarde if my opponent allows me to do that. So I'd be really happy if my opponent actually let me do that. It is a fake out actually. Into the Groudon slot. Okay, that's amazing. Okay, I get a U-turn off. And I really want to Nature's Madness Precipice Blades here, and I think it is time. My opponent doesn't have a switch in. Maybe the Weavile, I guess. The Zygarde's going to be a pain to deal with, though. I'm guessing Fini has to be in the back. I don't think it brings Solgaleo against my team, which does make a lot of sense. I will go for the Precipice Blades here. We'll go for the Nature's Madness. Because I'm trying to think. If you go out in a Weavile, there's no point of me doubling up the Weavile. You just get a free switch in the instant once again, and then you can easily set up. I think it's just easier for me to actually go for the Nature's Madness into the Zygarde here. And Precipice Blades, even if you protect, because if you get greedy with Zygarde, I feel like that this is always a play. Because if you try to coil immediately, I'll be able to potentially knock out your Zygarde, and that would be absolutely huge for me. So that's why I'm going to go for this play. We'll see if it works out or not. If you go for 1,000 arrows, that's fine too. No switches actually, and oh please, Groudon hit. It is coil. No surprise there. No surprise there. Nice. Okay. Sweet. Doesn't knock out Zygarde, but basically Zygarde's going to get some HP, but that's fine. It also loses speed, so Groudon actually might outspeed the Zygarde if it doesn't have speed investment, which is actually huge. I mean, it does have speed investment. I can tell based on the fact that it outspeed Groudon, but with this power constructed form, maybe it doesn't outspeed me anymore. Weavile gonna come out, no surprise there. How much did Zygarde heal? Probably is 25% of its HP, but it gets a massive HP buff. It probably lives in our Precipice Blades. I think I just Precipice Blades and Volt Switch into Instant. Yeah, I think that's my play. Even if you fake out my Tapu Koko, I don't think it's the end of the world for me. We're going to see the fake out come out. It is going to target on the Groudon, no surprise there. We will Volt Switch out. And we'll bring out my Incineroar, and then we can U-turn for momentum. So we'll bring out the Incineroar, because we want to weaken the damage, because Groudon is very important in this matchup. We got to save Groudon. We got to keep it as healthy as possible. So we'll go Incineroar here. As we'll see what the Zygarde does. Probably just either coils again or throws off 1,000 arrows, I would assume. Yeah, we are faster than the Zygarde, which is important. Coil once again, which is fine. Okay, I'm going to click Precipice Blades, and I'm going to U-turn the Weavile, because Zygarde is at this point in range of 2 Precipice Blades, even with the coils up. And I can see Feeny coming in for the heal pulse pressure, so I'd rather Precipice Blades now. And if I can oh wait, hold up. Should I have hard U-turn, or maybe I just switched? No, if I switch, I'm in a bad spot. But if you protect Zygarde... Wait, Weavile has protect? Is it a double? No, I get Precipice Blades off. That's not that bad, actually. Because I do hit, yeah. Okay. It is 1,000 arrows, that's fine. It's +1. Ooh, Incineroar lives. Really clutch. Really clutch, okay. I think I'm actually... Man, that was not what I expected. I thought you would want to get Feeny in. That works, though. I'm going to Precipice Blades here. And I'm actually going to go hard Necrozma here. This is the point where I can actually go hard Necrozma, because I think at this point you might just try to knock off my Groudon's band. So I think I can get Necrozma in for the fake out pressure. Oh, you actually just go for the hard Icicle Crash, which I don't think knocks out. You are -1. Are you Life Orb? Yeah, you don't knock out Groudon. Nice. Okay. We have Precipice Blades. That should knock out the Zygarde. Yeah, that's game. I'm really actually confused on how my opponent played that. I think you had like multiple opportunities to bring in Feeny. Unless you don't have Feeny. That's the only way that explains it. But like, I think you need Feeny against my team. I think the heal pulse pressure is like really solid, I think. If it was not Feeny, I'll be like really shocked. It was Feeny. I don't get why you didn't try to bring out Feeny earlier in heal pulse. Like, I think that would have been very viable for you, I think. Well, that should be game, because I don't think my opponent can actually beat down my Necrozma at this point. So we'll just go for Precipice Blades, and I guess we'll just Moongeist Beam the Feeny. I wonder if the Groudon's faster than the... Okay, it's faster than Feeny. So my opponent actually couldn't get a free switch to Feeny, but like, you could have protected Zygarde and just switched out the Weavile. Wow, that actually just obliterated the Feeny. That's insane. That's actually insane. But do pick up 3 wins in today's episode. I hope that everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC 2019 Baek Battles. If you did like it, please leave a like down below. Show some support. As well as you can check out the rest of my stuff down below, such as my social media and my other stuff in the description down below. Feel free to leave a comment, as I do read them. And if you do want to try out the team, there is a placement of it down below. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for me. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day, people. Until we battle again, I'll catch y'all later.